Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall rest therein. You know, I think about being on this Deborah platform and how blessed I really am. In spite of all the things that's taking place around the world, I could truly say, yeah, I got a hand on him. I'm telling you, he know he got a grip, and I love him for that because he allowed me to see things, and he prepared me, and I can't sit on here and just give you your precepts and your lines and your little and all the stuff that feeds your flesh. I ain't got time for you and your flesh. So if you want to hear something spirit and truth and really what actually going on in the midst of all this chaos, I'm telling you, I think back at videos that I had in time past, and it really in the last 3 weeks and back and back and back, and how the Most High Yah, he is one that through his Ruach HaKodesh that will bring things back to your remembrance. And as I listen to people talk and if you had to count from 1 to 100, they about 10 on it. They just at 40 from 100. And I think about how the Most High Yah has given me so much information. And then I sit back and I say, well, what is all this about? What is it for me to do with this? What is it? I thought back today. Today I've been pretty much, I've been in this same seat that you see me in since 7 this morning. I was taking care of a lot of business and a lot of trouble that is surrounding me on all corners. And in it all, I was trying to take care of this business and yet trusting in the Most High Yah. I said, let me call this. And he said, nope, I got this. I said, okay, let me call her. Nope, I got this. I'm going to tell you something. When you really get to know who he is and know who his right hand is, you know he got it. Even when you get ready to go into the deepest of the deep of darkness, let me tell you, he got it. That right hand is fire. I'm going to tell you, that hand is awesome. And I'm going to tell you, throughout my life, I've seen him face to face. I got that opportunity. He had blessed me to see him face to face. And I thank him for that. It's such a blessing. And it has enhanced my walk with him because I can feel Jacob. I can feel those who have felt him. And when Jacob said he saw him face to face, I hear you, Jacob. I told you, Jacob and I has a lot in common. And I just love that. How the Most High would allow his spirit to reach out to me and minister to me and comfort me with the message that he sent to me. And it had to do with his son, Judah. And when Jacob began to tell me about Judah and said, you can hang it up, he ain't going to get up. So it brings comfort to me that I don't need to keep on coming with messages trying to get a nation or a tribe to get up, because he's the one his dad, their forefather Jacob said was the one that would be on the enemy's neck. His hands would be on the enemy neck, and how he would his other brothers would worship and bow down to him, and it's amazing because that's not in this day and time. So somewhere things are totally out of the order, but yet that was Jacob speaking to him, saying that I know you, son. This is who I know of you. But you see, if Jacob can wake up right now and see what the tribe of Judah and Israel is at, it ain't too far from what he said you would be. Don't get me wrong. You ain't too far from where he said you would be. But you ain't where you should be in Yah. And Jacob knew that. He knew that because Jacob ministered to me and was telling me who should arouse Jacob. Who should arouse Judah? And he had a question mark. That means nobody, And he said on there, until Shalom come, he ain't going nowhere. So Jacob, you can stay on down where you at. So when Sister Deborah's on here trying to figure out, well, why ain't these so-called kings and leaders ain't stepping up and speaking out and being seen and being heard? If they say they serve the Most High Yah, what is this thing going on. They serving Yah from this devil platform only. And every last one that's running up behind them, all up in them, while they all up in Babylon, you all up in them. And so you ain't going nowhere, because the biblical word out of the mouth of Yah has spoken. He said back then they was worshiping idols to the utmost. That's what brought them where they at. That's what caused them to be where they at. And that's why they still where they at. Because if you ever think, wait a minute, Father Yah, hold up. 400 years, you don't think that's enough? What you mean you're going to first judge the whole house of Israel in the tribe of Judah? Wait a minute, what you mean first? What was that all about, the 400 years? That's how Deborah, that's how I get down with my Father Yah. You know, I just, just with that human. He said, you know what, Deborah? These are the same people, but worse. But worse. Don't let them fool you with this here. To keep the commandments and hold the law. Don't let them fool you with the feasts. Don't let them fool you with all this talking and these subscribers and these likes and these praise from these people. They so ignorant, they don't even understand. They are worshiping man. He said, I still have not heard the cries as I did with the Israelites that was in the hand of Pharaoh. First thing he let you know, he heard they cry. Now he said he heard the blood that of the dead people from these hospitals that they were killing them. The Most High told me he heard their cry. They were being murdered even as we speak. They still being murdered, and you all are walking around here on these devil platforms trying to get subscribers and likes. If this ain't a devil platform and you ain't playing to the beat of the devil, I don't know what's wrong with you. You ain't on the highways and byways. You ain't a laborer, because you ain't laboring nothing but your mouth. And you ain't laboring nothing but a bunch of people flesh. They still ain't got no further than they flesh. But the Most High Yah said, you get on here and you give them what I give unto you. What I have birthed into you before the foundation of the world. What I have taught you through my Ruach HaKodesh. What I give you through the water. When I toss and turn you in night and give you a message. Whatever you give unto them. Ain't none of it gonna come back void. I think about how I was trying to explain to people. It's been almost, now it's going on something like 8 weeks ago about the third stage. Oh, ain't nobody heard it. They still ain't heard it. They could care less about a third stage. So they're so busy trying to get a message on here to feed their flesh. But that third stage is going to come up on you out of your flesh. And then you're going to see it. Let me explain what I'm saying. I remember, how many years ago? 15, 30, no, 28? Give or take, 29 years ago, the Most High came to me. No, is it 29? No, not 29. Let's say 25. 25 years ago, the Most High came to me and he said, I want you to go to your parents, your mom and your dad, and let them know something is about to happen. And the Most High Yah said, and it's going to hurt. He said, it's going to hurt. And he said, just tell them to pray like they never prayed before. Let them know. And when he said that, I was on the floor. I was on the floor. You know why I was on the floor, you people? Because she was like, it was something upon me. The sorrow was so heavy. Just because my father spoke it to me. Hear me and hear me well. I figured, okay, I would do that, Father Yah, but why is it hurting so much and so bad? I'm on the floor saying this and crying, continually crying, trying to figure out why is this pain so heavy? Why is this burden? What is this sorrow I'm feeling in this midst of my tears, Father Yah? He said to me in a quiet voice, it shall hurt. Never telling me what's going to happen, you guys. Never telling me what's going to take place, but then I must go to my mother and my father and tell them to pray like they never prayed before. So mom asked me, A week passed. Mom asked me. I hadn't even went to her to tell her. See how the Most High set it up. My mother said, I need you to help me cater a party. I'm catering a big family reunion and I need some help. She said, would you help me? I said, okay, Mama. I'm going to help you. But I need to tell you what thou said, the Most High Yah. He have set the stage for me because I was holding it back from you. Mama, Yah said, we are to pray like we never prayed before. My mother looked at me. First thing she said, Booby, what do you think? What is it you think? I said, I don't know. That's all he said. And I said, Mama, all I know, it hurt so bad. It was a sorrow that took me to the floor. And that sorrow lasted a minute because he told me, I said, but why is it hurting so much? Why is it so sad? He said, because it's going to hurt. Because it's going to hurt. But he didn't leave me with nothing. That's how he do with me. He'll give me something halfway and let me walk straight into it to see the fullness and the revelation. So I was helping my mother at this family reunion. I had to come back with the truck to get a whole load from her house where my dad was at. And my dad was the one that had to transport the load of items from the house to the truck. And as Dad was doing that, I said, Daddy, the Most High Yah said for me to tell you we need to pray like we never prayed. And I said, Daddy, it hurts. Daddy, he said something going to happen. And my daddy shook his head. He held his head down. He shook his head. He said, Booby, yeah, I know we need to pray. We all need to pray. My daddy didn't take me that serious like my mother took me, because Mama know that when the Most High speaks to me and show me things, it's no escaping. She's talking to her daughter. There was a little girl that would come and tell her what is coming and what is to be and what is before us. So my dad began to put the stuff in the thing, and I said, Daddy, he said it's going to hurt. He said, oh, Booby, I don't know. My daddy was the humblest person I ever knew in my life. And I'm not saying it because he's my daddy. People said my daddy ain't had an argument, a fight, a day in his life. He was just that humble. Very humble. Believe in providing and taking care of for his family, making sure we had. And that's all that mattered to him. That he provided and took care of us, and that he spent time with us. That's what's all that mattered. He had 7 children. I was his first child that had a baby, and I wasn't even married. But I was the first child at the age of 19, having my their first grandbaby. So what I'm about to say is going to touch you in a way, at least if it don't, you ain't there. You can't be. So what happened is I load Mama stuff on, and I remember being sad, taking the mom the other load, because not knowing what was going to happen. It was just a few days later, me, my husband, and all my children was at the dinner table. And we was just eating as normal. We always ate dinner together. Nobody goes to their room. No one go upstairs, downstairs, or none of that. When dinner time, I raised every last one of my children. When it's dinner, we all at the table. And that's a time where parents, mothers, I'm going to say me, parents has an opportunity to know what's going on in their children's lives. You have to now be at the dinner table where you are serving your children and your husband, and you have to keep quiet. It's time to hear. And as you sit at the table, you hear all kind of things going on. And you can't say anything, because this really is the time to really find out things that you didn't know. It tends to disperse their little secrets and their little things that's going on, but you can't say nothing, because you got to leave that table there so that they can have a place where when we go to dinner, we can kind of bring some things out, But if mom and dad is about everything they said, then no, that ain't going to do it. So we at this dinner table, and all of a sudden, all the children had eaten their food, and my oldest son and my husband was sitting still at the dinner table. I said, Raymond, I need you to start grooming yourself a little better. Because he had like an odor to himself. And keeping your room clean. I need you to work on that. He said, Mama, I'll never forget. Mama, you always trying to reason. That's what he said. You always trying to reason. I said, but let me tell you something, son. This day, for what reason I said it, I can't explain it. I said, this day, Mama ain't going to reason. These are the things I need you to do. He said, okay. He didn't argue, he didn't do anything. As I got up, my husband was still at the table. I got up from the table and began to wash dishes while he sat there, because even after dinner, we always shared a lot of conversation after dinner. You know, just a lot of things we talk. What happened during the day? How did the job go? You know, stuff like that. And I was over about the dishes, washing dishes while he was at the table. And I began to say to him, I said, you know, the time is here. He said, what you mean? I said, I'm so sorry. But the sorrow that I had when he told me something was going to happen, it's here. And he began to say, are you sure? I said, yes, it's upon us right as I speak unto you. And I don't know where it's coming from, but I can feel it. You know, my son went into the bathroom, took his shower, and went into his bedroom and took his life. Hung himself. He was the son, the first grandbaby. Crazy grandfather, crazy about his grandson. Grandmother crazy. Everything came out they gave him. All them uncles and aunts. All he was, they were. And he took his life. And when he did it, it was so much preparation. It was like almost 3 weeks that the Most High had prepared me from the inside out. Hallelujah. To prepare for this, you know. That's why that hurt was there. That's what that was all about. He was dealing with me from the inside with great sorrow. So I share that with you all to let you know this here. I want you to hear this and hear this well. When I gave you the message regarding the third stage, he put it heavy on me. And the only thing that gave me release from sorrow was he told me about a right hand. He said, and at the end, right at the end, I'm coming. I'm getting chills as I said. He said, I'm coming with my right hand. Ooh, if this world and people only knew what the right hand stands for. And that's what soothed me and comforted me. But when he went on and told me it's the third stage, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. What you mean the third stage? What could have been worse than what we just experienced with this so-called coronavirus, which man-made germ? He said, but it's going to be a third stage. And he began to tell me it's going to be worse than that stage. I said, but what could be even worse than me? Because he ain't telling me nothing. But the sorrow, as when he told me about something was going to happen in my family. That same feeling was there. But then he told me about that right hand. When he said that right hand, you guys, I knew everything was going to be all right. So now we sitting in the midst of it. He gives me a message to give unto you about a woman in travail and about a woman that's birthing. She's in the birth room and she in early labor. They're not sending her home. She's just in early labor. And you know, women, if I've had 6. So I know that when you have early labor pains, they normally send you home. But the Most High said, these labor pains have already begun. And nope, they're not sending. It's not going to ease off of Israel nor the tribe of Judah. And you know women what birth pains are like. And he gave me a message to give unto you. And I've said it to you about 3 messages. You're not getting it. You're not going to get it. Because Jacob already warned me. Jacob came to me in the spirit. He said, they ain't going to get up. That assured me that you can talk all day and night, Deborah. Know that your talk is walking for Yah. No matter what you say, this is how Jacob comforted me. Because he went on and let me know. He let me know they're not going to get up. So don't look for Jacob. Israel don't look for Jacob to get up. So when you wonder why they on this devil platform won't move and won't go out, that's why they ain't getting up for nobody. They would rather laugh. I was wondering, well, why is they out there killing each brother, killing brothers, and men are treating with this demonic spirit toward women? What is this going on? Jacob is totally down and thinking he a king and thinking he a lion and thinking he all this and that. Right now, where Yah sees you to be, you are nowhere near a king. You are nowhere near a lion. And he's doing such a heavy separation. And he's doing some purging. He's going to purge some things up out of here. So this is what had happened today. Not today. Let's say in the last 7 days. I spoke a message about how I can feel the birth pains. And let me tell y'all something. Most High told me today, he said, what make you think you are going to escape not feeling the pains? And I came unto you first. Then it reminded me of my son and how he warned me about something about to happen to my family. You know why he came to my son, you guys? You know why? Because my son was the king of the family, even around other states. They knew that this is the Burton's grandbaby. When you had a birthday party for him, you had more adults than you can even imagine children, because that was the grandbaby of the Burtons. You see what I'm saying? So y'all wanted to share something with me regarding that. And he said unto me about my son, and the reason why he warned me, he says, for so long I have had a hedge around your mother and your father and their 7 children. And the Most High Yah shared with me. He said, your mother and your father never turned to me and glorified nor worship me from shielding and protecting them all these years. So I'm going to tamper with something that they hearts is overwhelmed and full of love. And that was my son, my grandbaby, my son, my oldest son, their first grandbaby. And when it tapped, everybody come up, because that was the one that had to lay down in that hospital in a coma and had every family member everywhere coming. Why? Because this is the grandson of a family that everybody admired. Friends, community, everybody. That was that grandson. So like today, he told me, you remember when I came to you and told you something was going to happen? I never told you what would happen. It ended up being your son. So today, same thing going on. Something's happening to one of my sons. I can't even do nothing about it. Oh, I can get my children out of a lot of situations with Yah. Don't get me wrong. I use everything that he put in me to get them out of any situation that someone is trying to bind them in that's unjust. Or a situation, bills, or anything that someone's trying to overcharge, anything, I'm always there. But this one here, I can't get my son out of. I already tried thinking about it. And every time I think about it, I look to what he said. And he said to me today, what makes you think I'm going to come to you and warn you about a third stage that's going to come up on the people without coming to your house first? Hallelujah. So the third stage, the birth pain has to hit me. And it has, you guys. It has. It has hit me. Hit me real hard. It hit me so hard to where you think that, oh, it's deep. I mean, it's to the point where the house in which all my adult children stay, from what I can feel, is threatened because of one son. And that's not the oldest son. Because of an accident he had on the highway that caused a police to be very negative. And everybody reported him to be the way that he was, even his white counterparts, his own race. His partner even spoke of how negative he was speaking to my son. When he went up to the hospital, he got the wrong 6'3", every bit of 310, 20 pounds steel meal. He wasn't coming down. Like he said, Mama, that's the same one that said, if they had did that to George and I was standing there, I wouldn't have time to video, Mama. I've been either dead or they would have. I wouldn't have dare stood there and let them do him like that, Mama. I think about how God is. Because if I was there, I know for a fact. So here he is in the hospital. Police come into there while they finna stitch up his eye in the side from his accident, saying things to him negative. It was time to rumble. And that police didn't like that because he went back to the captain and the lieutenant. And they lied. Their own kind. Oh, we're going to fire him because he's already a bad cop and we had so many write-ups. They didn't do nothing. So it's a lot of chaos going on right now. And it has not hit my household in all these years the way it's hit my household today. So I'm saying to you out there, keep on rumbling on this devil platform. Listen to this fleshly message these people feeding you. And it might be that that's all you have to survive with. But let me tell you something, it's coming. And it ain't just coming to Deborah. Because the third stage wasn't meant for Deborah. But because he brought the message to me to deliver it unto you, it had to come to me first. And it's there, baby. All I'm doing is trusting in him. And let me tell you something. It hurts, and it hurts bad. Because I had a card here where I was a witness to the same cop, the police department he works at. This is his, the one that's over, his captain, the one that's over that department, that whole police department. He gave me this card because he remembered me showing up as a witness for his accident that was really bad. I was standing right there. He said, here's my card. I reached for this card to call him today to try to ease my sorrow. The Most High said, no, you ain't. You know about my right hand. Keep trusting in it. Know that I got this. Everybody, I try to call my daughter to talk about it. I try to call my other son to talk about it. I can't. I can't talk to nobody about it. Because the burden of what I have to say is too heavy. I got to carry this in here. So the Father's right hand may deliver me in the midst of the chaos. And we are in the midst of it. I mean, to me, it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. Because it consists of the department that this cop works in is the worst in the St. Louis County police department. And here it is, this Caucasian white man is giving him a hard time and even had an argument with him today. Now you wonder, where did that come from? How did that happen? How did y'all even meet up? How did he know you was just a whole bunch of things? It's deep. It's deep. So I'm going to trust in that right hand. He says it's the third stage. And let me tell you something. The birth pains are there, but let me tell you something. It ain't over. We're a long ways. We just in the beginning of labor. But I do thank the Most High Yah for allowing it to come to my door. The sorrow, as deep as it was when he came to me regarding my oldest son. That's how heavy that sorrow is, you guys. But he had to bring it to what? To the door in which he has given the message to, so that I may deliver it unto you. Share this message with somebody. And let me tell you, there are people on these platforms really, really, really believing in their flesh, so deep in their flesh, that everybody is out there doing wrong in the midst of trying to clear up or because of what's happening. A lot of it's set up on the floor. Are you going to blame them too? If you're going to blame them from out there, blame yourself from coming to these four corners. See, you haven't accepted why you've been in this land of captivity of how you got here. You're still in denial. The same way Every last one of you on the devil platform is in denial regarding stepping out on faith and stand for righteousness and justice away from this devil platform. No, you can't get away from it. You want the devil to know what you're saying on his platform because you all up in him and you think the Most High y'all don't know it. You see a lot of them won't even talk. A lot of them won't say anything. But they ridiculing their brothers. They already killing their own tribe with their mouths. You know why they killing their own tribe with their mouth? It's because they're not willing to step out in the highways and byways. They're not willing to be up amongst the harvest out there. They don't want to go out there. They want to play on your flesh. They've been successful. Just as I'm going to tell you something. When you see that man-made biochemical that they have made, man made that. The elites prepared that. Bill Gates is one of the number one. Obama is one of the number one. I now understand that when Trump said, "Make America great again," is if we can deliver, if we can do away with the black people. See, all of them is in it. Biden, all of them is in it. It's all a setup from the floor. The doctors that's killing these people, they were brought in just to know how to inject the people and keep them under and everything that's going on. And while you all sitting on this devil platform playing at the beat of the devil, hooping and hollering to the flesh of man. So I wonder what they're going to do when it get to the point where ain't nobody going to want to hear them no more. Because it's getting there. It's getting there. Because the Most High said, y'all, he ain't heard no cries. And what he mean, I ain't talking about your flesh. He said, I don't want your flesh crying out to me. He can't hear you in no flesh. He said, Deborah, I ain't heard they spiritual cry. Like in Israel when they was in Pharaoh. So that's why you're going to need to be judged first. Something he has to allow to be put on you. So heavy till there's no way out. But to fall out and cry and plead and beg in a way that you have never in your whole entire life. Because it's Israel in the tribe of Judah. Jacob already prophesied the type of people you all were. Those were his children. Judah, he already prophesied you scooped down. But he said, who can arise? Awaken Judah. No one said the word in Genesis 49. No one. Until Shalom come. That's just how Judah is all the way down. And that's why the remnant is going to be so small. And that's why very few shall find their end. And that's why, if it was so, it would fool his very elect. Because he had to handpick his own. Because he knew that this day would come. In the days that's set before us. And a lot of the one thing I realize about the Hebrew Israelite people, especially the men, the ignorance is so high. Ignorance is so high. Because people don't even understand. Just look at the stars in the skies and the sand. I tell you what, let's look at the sand. Just to see how Yah saw you as a multitude. He don't see you like that now. You know why? You all messed up from the floor. You don't understand. It's a seed. It's not a bloodline. It's a spiritual seed that came from heavens. That was tracked when he created and began to move about. It ain't cost you Abraham bloodline and you run around here killing each other and then you know your brothers and them killing and you standing around here on the devil platform trying to get a message in so you can get likes and subscribers. Come on, y'all. You must be sick as I don't know what to think that you worshiping the Most High Yah. If every last one of you don't get your butts out there in them highways and byways and start dealing with people in spirit and truth. He said, why you're afraid of them destroying your body? But you ain't worried about me destroying your body and your soul, are you? No, because you're on this devil platform making people thinking you all kings and queens and leaders and all rulers, and you ain't nothing. Because you ain't doing nothing to show faith nowhere. And it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing because I'm ready. I'm ready to rumble. I'm ready. That's where I'm at. I think about my son and how he have took such a quiet, peaceful zone that I had for my children now. And now it's not a zone that it can even be looked at as a quiet zone, a peaceful, because you don't know who can come and destroy. But you got to believe me, I'm speaking up. And it's got to do with the white. You don't know what he got up his sleeves. Because in Missouri, y'all look it up. There are so many young guys got killed, shot on the highway, and still ain't found out who did. So many young guys missing, they killing. But the sad part is this. This is what bothers me. How is it that people want you to believe them on these devil platforms and like them and subscribe to them, but now one of them are out there showing you anything? What about Yeshua? What about his walk? Traveling all over the place on foot. Traveling all over the place. What about all the disciples? But then y'all is preferring them to be on the devil platform so y'all can give them subscribers and like to make your flesh feel like you doing somebody or that you doing something, or make your flesh feel like you somebody, to be able to like somebody, to be able to unlike somebody. You know, it's sick. It is so sick. That shows the sign that you all are all up in Babylon. And Sister Deborah, I don't have no problem. I know what that right hand gonna do. I'm flesh. And don't forget, I am that weak link, but guess what? Greater is he that is in me than he that is in this world. And you know what? I know. I've seen him face to face. I've seen him show up and show out. I've seen his power. I know what he's capable of doing, but I will share this with you. If you think for 1 minute he coming to deliver you out of this Babylon, before he do that, he'll let you go down with Babylon. Because now one of you are questioning these people on these devil platform about what they teach. They are precepting and lying and a little hear you to death. They are bringing books to bring you into one form. And y'all said, look, y'all, search your light. Make sure the all that Yeshua HaMashiach came to fulfill is in you. Oh, they don't want that. They don't want that. They want these men on this here platform that call themselves kings and queens and hating on women left and right. This Hebrew Israelite has came to a level where the Most High is unpleased with them to the utmost. That's why you're going to be judged first. He knew you would do it. He knew that you would not get it right. Why didn't, you seen what happened in Israel, what your forefathers never made it to the promised land. So what do you think your judgment is going to be if he said, I'm coming to judge the whole house of Israel and the tribe of Judah first? What do you think these birth pains is about? I know you don't get it. You don't care. Oh, she just talking. She just walking. She just opening her mouth. She's a woman. Shut up. She's not supposed to look. She's supposed to look like this. She's supposed to have her hair tied and all word up the way y'all want it, don't it? But the Most High that I've come to know is bigger than you and anything that you can even imagine. That should be the way a man said it should be. So I, Sister Deborah, would say, I hope you all understand that the mark of the beast has stamped you already. Anytime they can call and speak something and the whole world salute, what do you think that is? What do you think that is? So I say unto you, it's sad. You don't even know where you at. But you're sitting, they teaching you, oh, Babylon is coming down. They want you to be that scared and all that up in there while you sitting in your little house and you sitting up in corners listening to them, talking about the Babylon, and you should have your butt out on the highways and byways ministering to the people that you're constantly talking about, your own tribe, your own brothers and your own sister, that you want to keep using this devil platform to talk negative in front of the white people. Don't you know they already see you messed up from the floor up? Because you're on this devil platform constantly talking about your brothers and them out there that's looting and stealing and tearing up their community when they had a community. You can't even name a community they had. How many times did they burn houses and tore up stuff that you done had? Every school in the state of Missouri that's in our community, beautiful buildings. They closed every school down, elementary, junior high, and high school, and turned them to their own loft and condos. They done ran us out of the city, all out of the areas in which they rebuilt, and trying to put us in one area. And then these men run around here talking about getting some land so we can have our own. Y'all ain't gonna give you your own nothing, because you ain't showed him nothing, and you're still on a devil platform, ain't doing no more than what you do the day before. So don't get caught up waiting on Babylon, because Babylon ain't going down no time during the time you gonna be breathing. You about to feel that sorrow, because he wouldn't dare let me live 58 years to come before you as a prophetess in the wilderness and let you know we in for the full labor. And it's going to take a while. Shalom and shalom.